Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday to everyone. Happy Eastern Standard Time. Stupid time change, for crying out loud. Yeah, welcome to the coffee sessions, everybody, and welcome to Eastern Standard Time. All right, let's see who we got in the house this morning. We've got Javi. Good morning, Javi. How are you? Got Mr. Kevin Els. Looks like we got Zach. He's up early this morning. How you doing, Zach? Hope you're enjoying some coffee. Troy Pritchard. Good morning, everybody. Says Michael Chipser in the house. How you doing, Michael? Mr. Steve Kronsky. Happy Monday to you, sir. Randy Hall. Good morning. Good morning. Mr. Hitch Hamilton's over on the tubes this morning. Thank you for tuning in, Hitch. Yeah, what a weekend, huh? Switch time and all that mess, fall back or whatever they call it. I don't get it. I did see over the weekend on one of the news channels or whatever it was, there was in Georgia, and I think there's some other states trying to do it too. You know, they're all getting sick of this flip-flopping time back and forth. It's just, just not needed anymore. So there's a House Representative, Wes Cantrell, here in Georgia, that's submitted a bill to keep Georgia on daylight savings times, which if I had my preference, that would be the one I would pick. I really don't, I just want them to pick one or the other and stay with it. But if I had a choice, I would vote for the daylight savings time. But anyway, we'll see where that goes. They have to get approval from the federal government. I don't know why you have to get approval from them to do stuff, but apparently you do. So we'll see how it goes. But I think there was some other states. I want to say Tennessee or something, I think was another state that was trying to do that, get them to stay with one time. So hopefully that'll work out and won't have to keep flip-flopping back and forth. Earl Walker's in the house this morning. How you doing, Earl? Mr. Bill Larison. Good to see you on here. Yeah, it's the mornings when you fall back to the regular time or in daylight savings time, to me it's not that big a deal in the morning. It's more at night. It's like last night when I got ready to go to bed, I'm thinking, man, why am I so tired? It's only 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, just yesterday it was 11 o'clock. So it's always at night when it starts messing with me, especially when you look outside and it's dark at 5 o'clock. So Hitch says Florida has passed daylight savings time bill, but feds won't approve. Yeah. Well, what if Florida just said, screw you, we're going to do it anyway? That's probably what they should do. Janet Moore's in the house. How are you, Janet? Good to see you on this Monday morning. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your coffee. Yeah, feds won't approve. What difference does it make to them? Anyway, Jerry Cooper. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. I knew somebody once before that had Gerry, and they said Jerry, not Gary. So I'm hoping it's Jerry Cooper. Good morning to you. Got a couple of little things I was going to talk about this morning, only because I've noticed them more and more. But we had Halloween, last Thursday, I think it was. Yeah, last Thursday. And now over the weekend, and of course I'm seeing all this junk on Facebook. Over the weekend, there's more and more people that are posting videos of where they've, and a lot of times they're just sharing other people's videos, but it's where people will, instead of answering their door to give candy to trick-or-treaters, for whatever reason, they just decide to set a stool out there and set a big old bowl of candy. And then, of course, then they all have their little Ring doorbell camera things, and they're recording the people coming up, and now they're sharing all these videos on Facebook about these people that are coming up there, and in some cases just taking the whole bowl and dumping it in their bag and walking off. And in some cases, I think one person even took the bowl too. But you watch that and I'm thinking, well, in this day and age, that doesn't really surprise me a whole lot. But it also makes me think, what are these people that set the candy out there unattended? And I don't know whether they just didn't want to bother opening the door, or maybe they were gone and off trick-or-treating with their own kids or whatever. But I have to ask, what the heck were you thinking? In this day and time, you're going to put a bowl of candy out there and expect people to, just take a few pieces and leave the rest? I mean, come on, folks. This is 2019. You better wake up and, come back to reality a little bit. And it's sad that it's that way, but it is. But yeah, all these people were sharing those videos, and people were commenting and going, "Oh, look at them!" They, fussing at the people that are taking the candy. But I'm thinking, well, that's what happens, when you leave it out there unattended. You don't want people to take it. Leave the dang bowl in the house and answer the door, or don't give them nothing at all. If you're not going to be home, leave your light off. It's the way I would do it. But that's just me. Let's see who else we got over here. We got Bob Sims, all the way from the UK. How you doing, Bob? Jeff Nearcorn, good morning, sir. Good to see you. Yeah. And did you see the thing that was on the news this morning? I'm sure it's going to be national news, but I've never been to Niagara Falls. I'd like to go up there sometime and see it, but apparently there's an old ship that they call it the Iron Scow or something, whatever that means. But an old ship that apparently got away from a tugboat way back in 1918 and went adrift and got to a spot right up above Niagara Falls and got stuck. And it's been sitting there ever since. So it's been there over 101 years now. And I guess they had a big storm Halloween night, and it loosened up that ship, and it flipped on its side and moved farther down, closer to going over the falls, about 150 feet, they said. So that's weird that it sat there in that one spot for 100 years, and then a big storm really made it move. So I hope, if and when it ever does break loose and go over the falls, that it's in the daytime so that somebody can get some good video, because that ought to make for a heck of a sight, seeing something like that go over the falls. So let's see. Javi's got a Halloween coming here. He says, one year I just left an empty bowl. I let them assume someone before them took all the candy, saved money that year. Yeah, just put an empty bowl out there. That's pretty smart. Yeah. Eddie Hall says, good morning. How are you, Eddie? Good to see you in here on the coffee sessions. Mr. Ballard in the house. How you doing, Ryan? Mr. Awesome Wood Things / Piano Man / all things YouTube, Matt Haas. And now he's adding lathe to his repertoire. How you doing, Matt? Good to see you. Jana Moore says, did you see that Penske has bought the Indianapolis Motor Speedway? Wow, I didn't know that. I'll have to check that out. Well, he's pretty much owned it anyway over the years because he's had so many. Isn't he the one that has the most victories there of anybody as an owner? Hedge probably know the answer to that. Mark Lindsay's in the house. How you doing, Mark? Says we don't get any trick-or-treaters out here. Haven't had a single one in 7 years. Yeah, I haven't had any in even longer than that, but it's because I leave my light off and I just, we don't. I think the first year or two that I was here, I tried to be the good neighbor and do the trick-or-treat thing, but there's just not that many kids here. This is an older subdivision, so it's a lot of old folks. So not that many kids here in this subdivision. So let's see. It says Indianapolis Motor Speedway sold to Roger Penske. Announcement coming at 11. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Penske's the captain, most wins. Yeah. Yeah, he's had a lot of great drivers drive for him. He's been really good for the sport too. Big D in the house. Dave Clemens, how you doing, sir? Mark Lindsay says, "Yep, same here. No kids under about 17." Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see if he makes any drastic changes. I would like to see it get back. I mean, I know it's still a thing. It'll always be the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The 500, but it just hasn't been the same. And I say that as somebody who always looks forward to the Memorial Day weekend and watching racing on TV. But it's just, it's kind of lost its luster a little bit. So I hope Roger can kind of get it back to the way it used to be. That'd be pretty cool. It says Wikipedia, Roger Penske, great biography. Yeah, I will do that. Let's see. I don't know if I had anything else. I don't think I've had much to talk about this morning. Like I said, it's kind of a slow start this morning because of the time change. One of the things I hate the most about the time change is, they always say, well, set your clocks. In this case, set them back an hour and stuff. And for certain things like your microwave and your coffee maker and that kind of stuff, that's pretty much a manual thing. But stuff like your TV, your smartphone, and maybe even some of your alarm clocks and stuff, you get up the next morning and you have to figure out, well, did they do it automatically, or do I still need to switch them? Because I know I had my TV, when I got up yesterday morning and started watching stuff on TV, the TV time was correct. It had switched automatically, but another little tuner box that I have down below it had not. And I don't know why, but apparently you have to go change it manually. So that's the other thing, getting up and then trying to figure out for sure exactly what time it is so you know whether to set them or not. The answer to that question is pretty much, I had a good day the other day. I spent pretty much the whole day out there burning stuff. but I've since ran a bunch more. So when I get another free day where the weather's right, the humidity's right, I will get out there and burn some more. Portal Woodworks in the house. Howdy, David. How are you this morning? Bill Larison says, like Penske, he owned a racetrack years ago. Of course, it was an electric one. Yeah, probably HO gauge or something, wasn't it? That's what I used to have. I used to love those things. The old HO gauge tracks and the trains too, but I was more into the cars. Matt Haas says, can I watch this show without drinking coffee? Asking for a friend. Well, if you must, you ought to have, cocoa or something. Eric Smith's in the house. George Rumpus. Anybody get hacked on Twitch? I live in Michigan. A browser opened my account in Panama. I didn't, but then again, I haven't checked my Twitch account, so I don't do much on Twitch. Let's see. Matthew says, devices without a clock that doesn't update automatically is forbidden in the Haas house. Yeah. Mark says it's getting colder here, so I'm about to start burning some of mine. Yeah. What do you do with yours, Mark? I'm bad about leaning stuff up against different places. I mean, I don't have any set place. I have a set place for the Gatton CNC skeletons. I lean them up all in the same place. But everything else, little pieces. There'll be little pieces of wood, and sometimes it'll be a skeleton that's got maybe a square like this big that's still good. So I won't throw it out. So I'm trying to do better. And not hoard so much stuff because Javi says, I burned 9 trees worth of branches yesterday, all ash today. Matt Hot says, Twitch is a dumpster fire. Yeah. It probably is. So I see that we're already at almost 20 after, and I forgot to hit those dang buttons again. I always forget that. Oh, well. It is what it is. Javi says, drinking Diet Coke during the session is permissible and recommended. I don't know if it's recommended. It's only permissible because I can't see you doing it. Says, I lean my skeletons against one section of wall. I don't have a lot of room. Yeah. Well, it's probably a good thing you don't have a lot of room, because when you got more room, you just spread stuff out more. Or at least I do. So, well, who's got the best time change story? Did anybody get to work early this morning? Or probably nobody over there is watching from work. I just wonder if there's anybody that forgot to set their clock back and think it's an hour later than it is. Troy says he tries to leave his skeletons in the closet. Yeah, I think we might be talking about different kind of skeletons there, Troy. I save usable scrap, but I'm changing my criteria on exactly what usable means. Yeah, I know. I'm the world's worst at saving stuff. I buy plywood. I buy 3/8, just the cheap crummy plywood, and I use it to build crates because it's great for crates. You don't want to spend money on good plywood, just for something that's going to get beat up shipping stuff to people. So I always buy the cheapest stuff. It's like, I don't know, about $13 or $14 for a 4x8 sheet. But because of the size of the crates that I have to build, I always end up with little pieces or strips and stuff. And I don't know why I save those things, because if they're not big enough to make a crate, I know I'm not going to use them for anything else, because I mean, they're the cheap crummy plywood. They're not good to like cut a sign out of or anything like that. But I'll end up with a big pile of that stuff leaned up against the back of my shelf over there. And I finally broke down and burned up some of that the other day. But yeah, you're exactly right. You have to, some people have a good discipline, and they'll say, well, if it's not, they'll measure, and if it's not bigger than that, it goes in the scrap pile. But let's see here. We got some. Mark says we ate dinner at 4 because I started the smoker an hour earlier than I had to. Yeah. Ryan says, last week my kid's up at 5:30 every day for school. Today he gets up at 7:30 for school after the time change. Yeah. He says, technically you can even turn sawdust to MDF, so it's all usable. Yeah, I suppose. Let's see here. It depends on what it is. If it's expensive wood, I'm more likely to save it. Yeah, I'm, not even expensive wood for me, but just like walnut or maple or what's another, cherry, mahogany, something like that I can't go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy, that I have to go to the lumber yard, which to me, there's no lumber yard really close to me. They're all about an hour away, no matter which way I go. And I will get like I actually broke down and burnt some pieces, but it was a little maple, and they were just little dinky pieces, but it was maple, And the bad thing about having a CNC is it's hard to find a piece that's too small to use for something, because if you just got to make a little tiny piece or a knob or something, as long as you can figure out a way to get it clamped down, whether you use clamps or the tape and CA glue method or whatever, you can make something out of it, even if it's only this big. But I'm trying to do better at going ahead and throwing that stuff away and burning it up, because I know if I don't, it'll just sit there for who knows how long. It says, I remember prior years at church, people showed up early wondering where is everybody? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that can happen for sure. Well, let's see. We got been on here about 25 minutes. I'm going to be wrapping this one up here in a minute. Mark says, for the small pieces, I glue them up and make in-grain projects. Yeah, that's a good use for them, I guess. I'm even bad about, saving little bitty square pieces of plywood, because you always need, like, I'm a big fan of using clamps, the wooden clamps, so you don't, doesn't matter if you hit one with something. But, for different, when you got different height materials, you always want to put a little scrap piece of a little block up under the other part of the, under the clamp. So I'm bad about saving little bitty square pieces of plywood for that too. Yeah, cigar box guitar bridges. Yeah, it doesn't take much of a piece to do that, and that's why I had a ton of little pieces that I finally broke down and burned up. So Earl says he didn't change his clock till about 2 p.m. yesterday. Phone was correct. Yeah, my phone's set. I think my phone's set to where even when you're driving somewhere, like when I went out of town the other day, when you get up there's parts of Tennessee and Kentucky where it switches time. So the phone switched time, but the clock in the car did not. It stayed the same. Which, let me ask y'all a question here. I'm kind of getting the bug. I'm trying to talk myself out of it, but I'm thinking about maybe purchasing a new car. Maybe not a brand new car, but a newer car. So, but if you guys were going to buy a vehicle right now, what would you get? Put something you like there in the comments there, and I'll check them out because I'm not really sure. I've been looking at a couple of different things, but right now it's more of a want than a need. I think, because I don't really need one, but I kind of got the bug for one. Dave Clemens says he's got to go. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Well, we'll see you. Probably see you tomorrow, Dave. Come back. Do it. Brand new Ram 1500. No, truck's definitely out because I've got a truck. So I don't need another truck. Oh, yeah. Porsche 911. No, I don't think so. Lincoln MKX. See, some of these I don't even know what they are because I don't pay attention to these cars on the road these days. You know, a lot of the cars or vehicles in general, they all look pretty much alike. And you have to look close, you know, because everybody makes what they call, well, the rental companies now, like Enterprise, they call them an SUV, but they're really kind of a crossover SUV thing. And you know, they all look the same. They're all basically the same kind of body style and all that. So Dave says Wrangler. I've looked at Jeep stuff before, but Jeep's pretty proud of their stuff. They're not a real big fan of the Jeep stuff. Javi says, get rid of the old truck. You can only drive one at a time. Now, I would probably get rid of my Explorer. I won't get rid of my truck. Because my truck's got an 8-foot bed, so I can go to the, you know, Home Depot or whatever and just throw the plywood in there, and I don't have to worry about strapping it down or nothing. I just slide it in, put the tailgate back up, and I'm done. So we'll never get rid of that truck, but I would like to have something different. But I'm just looking right now, and so far nobody's posted anything that really gets me going. Absolutely Jeep, Ford, or nah. Okay, now I've actually looked at some of these, and when I say look, I mean online. I haven't looked at anything yet, but I do like the look of the Ford Edge. Yeah, those are pretty nice. But yeah, Mark says we drive a 2004 Jeep Liberty that's fixing to turn over 230,000 miles. Been a good little rig. Yeah, they're good. They're I know some other people that have Jeep Liberties, and they've been good vehicles for them. Am I a Ford guy? Well, I've been everything. I've drove Mopars. I've had Plymouth, Dodge, bunch of Chevys. I've had Fords the last probably 30 years. Both vehicles I have now are Fords, but it doesn't necessarily. I wouldn't say I'm a Ford man. I just happen to have a couple of Fords because if something else come along that I wanted, I would get one. Let's see, a VW Atlas. I have no idea what that is. I'm guessing it's is that one of those crossover SUV type things? Bill Larson said I bought a Mazda Miata in 2017. That's a fun car to drive. Yeah, those are little bitty things. I'm not getting anything little bitty that I got to fold up to get in. I don't get down low so good anymore, Bill. I like stuff that sets up higher where I can, or at least even where I can just kind of fall into it. Easter Ryan says, yeah, okay, so VW Atlas is like an Explorer equivalent. I'll have to take a look at those. I haven't looked at those. But I'm just now starting my search. I've been looking at a few on what is it? Auto Nation, I guess. And my Explorer I bought from CarMax. And I like shopping at those kind of places because you know the price is on there and that it is what it is. There's no, well, let me go talk to my manager stuff like you get at the dealers. I hate car salesmen. So my apologies if anybody out here is a car salesman, but I don't like playing those games and wasting time. It's like you look online, you see one of the vehicles, if you like it, there's, usually put, 25 pictures or so you can see everything. And then when you want to go see it in person, you already know up front what the price is going to be. So I like that kind of buying. You either know whether it's worth it or not. And then when you finally see it in person and drive it, there's no going back and forth, all that stuff. I don't do that anymore. So anywho, I guess y'all let me know if you run across something you think I should take a look at, and I will do it. Gotta run, Steve says. Have a good day. Thank you, Steve. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it's about 30 minutes past, so I'm going to go ahead and try to manually push some of these buttons that I should have had automated earlier. And yeah, Jana Moore says, I agree. Just tell me the price. Because, really, that's what it comes down to anyway. And then when you go to a dealer and you find a car that you really like, and then you got to haggle trying to get them down to what you want to pay for it. I just don't like all that. So Hitch says he's going for another coffee. Have a great day. I hope you have a good one down there, Hitch. Anyhow, thank you all so much for tuning in today. I always like getting my morning started off with you folks. We've had a pretty good crowd in here today. And I'm going to go warm up my coffee and probably drink another one before I actually head off to work. But I do have some stuff I got to do today. So no lounging around today. I got to get busy. So everybody have a great Monday. Be safe, take care, and we will see y'all tomorrow morning, 0900. Come back and join me for the coffee sessions. See you, everybody.